one.
Ben Brown at Evolution Martial Arts in Sparks, Nevada with my buddy Brad. We just finished class. We're going over the big umbrella is guard, and now we're guard versus a downed opponent, open guard, okay? So we're talking about butterfly guard. Usually when the person's on two knees, which when I'm this person, I try not to be on two knees. I try to be in combat base because it makes it harder to connect. But we all do this when we're on these mats. There's no negative consequences. We end up on our knees sometimes, whether we're just playing or we're being lazy like I do sometimes. But what we want to do is we got to understand the ways to connect to this person. Really what I'm trying to do is own your center of gravity. I want to own that. To do that, I have to connect. So with the feet, there's only a couple things our feet can do. It's the same they do in any guard. Our feet can hook, post, or be on the ground to move me. That's all my feet can do. If one of my feet isn't doing one of those jobs, then I'm wrong. So here, go ahead and sit your butt down for me, if you can.
Sure.
We both have bad hips. So I have to have sticky hooks here, active hooks. I can't let Brad just disconnect me super easy. I gotta, like, my feet are active, not loose like this, but really pulled in where I'm using this connection with Brad to move me or move him. And I can bring him out to post on his hip, on his knee, but in butterfly guard, I usually want at least one hook. What can I do with my hands? Okay, the easiest, the most obvious one is a collar tie, where I'm reaching out and I'm controlling Brad's head. This is the end of this big lever, which is our spine. Collar tie, little detail about collar tie. I don't want all this space. I want in here where I can really move Brad and it's hard for him to disconnect me. It's super easy to get lazy with these. But when I do that, I not only make it easy for Brad to disconnect me, but I make it easy for him to like underhook me and do things like that. So when I get a collar tie, it's gotta be a good one. 2-on-1, lots of 2-on-1s. 2-on-1 on the wrist. Traditional arm drag 2-on-1. The opposite of that, right? There's weird 2-on-1s like this, but any kind of 2-on-1 is a good thing to get in any hand fighting anywhere, but specifically in butterfly guard. Underhook. So in butterfly guard, this is the easiest underhook. If we start getting off to the side, I might be able to get down to his hip. When I underhook people, I'm either on the hip or on the shoulder, nowhere in between. And when I'm here, I'm pulling this in. You feel that? Mm-hmm. Good. I'm taking up that space. I'm not leaving this open for Brad to move around. I'm pulling this to me. That goes really nice with a collar tie. Man, I got Brad now. See how I can start affecting his center of gravity? That's a good thing. Overhook. We'll go here. So where do overhooks come from? Well, it's a good idea, whether we're standing or on the ground, for me to have my arms inside your arms. So you're trying to touch my head and stuff, and my arms stay inside yours. This is called an inside tie. It's a great hand position. I can even be a little higher, but this is really good. You can feel that you're kind of stuck there. This can easily turn into an overhook. So I go above the elbow, I pinch my elbow in, also goes nice with a collar tie. Underhook, overhook. Same function, right? I'm trying to get Brad's center of gravity out beyond his base. So right now his base is pretty wide knees. He's sitting back. I need to move this up here toward the edge of his base, or out here on the edge of that base. And I'm using these connections to do that. So it's a combination of underhook, overhook, collar tie, 2-on-1s. So the drill looks like this. Brad's gonna be a good partner. We'll go real light, okay? I'm just trying to overhook, underhook, overhook, oh, 2-on-1, right? Things just feed into each other. And see how we're going at a very chill pace. Brad's not really challenging me. You gotta start with almost no resistance, but I need something. Then what Brad would do is he'd try to push me over and he'd try to connect me. Go ahead. So I gotta keep my head in front of my hips, because if they're back here, he's just gonna push me flat. No guard here, no butterfly guard, right? And this is the mistake people make when they go to sweep, is they get a good connection and then they fall backwards and they got no leverage. So go ahead and challenge my guard a little. So we're just playing here. I'm not even, I could be moving my feet, posting, right? There's my underhook. This is like my go-to. I love this, okay? So that's the next progression. Then today we talked about kind of the Marcelo little cheater sweep. It's not an overhook, it's not an underhook. I think of it like a knee tap, takedown, where I don't need to really connect to you. I just stop your base, because look, if I get a collar tie and I get my hips in, remember, I don't want to be straight on, I want to be off to the side. If I start to bring Brad this way, he's going to post right there. He's going to widen his base. This is still a good thing for me, but it's not as good as a sweep. So when I start to bring him, see how I've got his center of gravity coming forward, and then I lean and I lift, and I'm just going to tap this elbow and take him over. It's a timing thing. I'm going to have you do it to me. We're going real slow. This sweep starts with the collar tie. If you're getting collar ties consistently, then what you should be doing with that is you get your collar tie, you're gonna move in on the same side as the collar tie. He's moving his hip closer, he's cutting an angle on me. And then as he starts to go, he just taps my elbow so I can't base out. And what's cool about this sweep is I don't really see it coming. This person doesn't see it coming because all I have is a collar tie, and you can't sweep someone with just a collar tie. Right? So you don't feel like you're in that much trouble. And just, it comes from this constant, right? So I scoot in, I start to take him, and I just tap that elbow, and I'm on top. And if you're really good, you can end up in knee on belly, maybe even mount. I would never get that on Brad because you're already getting your guard in place the second you go over. So just a quick down and dirty on the fundamentals of butterfly guard. We'll have more videos coming because there's more than sweeps. There's back exposure, there's leg exposure, there's front headlock options. So there's a lot of options from butterfly guard. That's why it's the most popular open guard there is. You got anything?
That's all good. Thanks, man.
Boom. Okay.